Today we go from this to this. Alright, let's gather our ingredients. We need some biscuit dough, some tomato sauce, mozzarella, toppings, butter, and spices. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. To start off, we are going to prepare some of our ingredients ahead of time to make sure that we have what we need. We're going to start off with tomato sauce. Now I'm not going to use the entire can of tomato sauce in this, so I'm going to put some in a bowl and I'm going to set the rest aside. Now tomato sauce from a can has a very acidic flavor that I don't particularly like too much, so I add a little bit of salt to cut that flavor down a little bit. Whatever you add to your sauce, make sure that you mix it up really well. The second thing we're going to prep is a butter sauce that we're going to brush on top of the pizza bombs right before we put it in the oven. Now you start off, you only need 4 tablespoons of butter. Now to the butter, I'm actually going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. And the way that I'm going to do this, if you haven't tried this trick before, it's something that you might want to try, especially if you have kind of a bigger chef's knife like I'm using. You can actually use the flat of the blade, usually on the thicker portion of the knife, to crush the garlic just slightly, and it makes it easier to take off the shell. Now I'm going to actually use a garlic press to press the garlic into the butter. You can mince up the garlic if you want. I just found that with this type of sauce, because we're going to be brushing it on top of the pizza bomb, that this actually works better for me as far as flavor goes. Once you have the garlic pressed or minced or whatever you're going to do to it, and you have it on top of the butter, you want to melt the butter right now. And after you have the butter melted, add some more seasonings to it. In this case, I'm actually adding Italian seasoning to it, and I'm keeping it kind of simple. I'm making this for my kids right now, so doesn't need complicated flavors or anything like that. They're going to love it. Now we're almost there. We're about to prep our biscuits and get it ready for consumption. So to start off with, go ahead and open up your biscuit can, take out your biscuits. What you're going to want to do is you are going to want to slice the biscuits in half. And then once you slice them in half, you want to roll them up into a ball. When you're ready, start pressing the balls of biscuit dough into little discs. You want to make them a little bit bigger than your palm, or at least as big as your palm, in order to put the ingredients in and fold everything like we're going to want to later. Biscuit dough at room temperature is very sticky, and as you prepare this recipe, as you're pressing out the disc out of the biscuit dough, it's going to get to room temperature, it's going to get more and more sticky. Two ways that you can combat this. Number one, once you roll out the biscuit dough and put it back in the refrigerator, let it sit, let it get cold, and then pull it out one at a time, press it into a disc ball, and prepare it like we're going to show you later. The other option that you have is to put flour on the ends of your fingers. Once you have your discus of biscuit ready for toppings, you're going to put a little dollop of sauce in the middle. You're going to put whatever your toppings are on top of that, and then you're going to stack cheese on top of that. Next, you're going to fold the sides of the dough over the top. You're going to do two opposing sides first, turn it perpendicular, do the other two sides. Normally at this point I would say, make sure your baking sheet has a piece of parchment paper on it. It will help with especially any aluminum or metal pans, but this is a ceramic pan and it doesn't require one. You want to be careful with sauce and cheese. You want to make sure that any part of the dough that you're trying to stick to another part of the dough, you do not want sauce on that part. It will prevent the dough from being sticky. Continue making other pizza bombs the same way. You don't have to use the same ingredients that I did. Put whatever ingredients you like on your pizza. I got pepperoni for me and my wife, and my children love pineapple on their pizza, so that's what I'm making the pizza bombs with today. Once all the pizza bombs are assembled and you have them on your baking sheet, now it's time to brush them with the butter sauce that we made earlier. Now remember, in mine I just have butter, garlic, and Italian seasoning. That's really all I need. Just make sure you brush all of the tops thoroughly, and then we're going to get ready to put it in the oven. At 375, these should cook between 15 and 20 minutes. If you've never made this before, start with 15 minutes. Check on them. If they're good, they'll be golden brown on top. If not, put them back in, leave them in for a minute or two more, and then check on them again. Do I really need to tell you to take them out of the oven when they're done? Now, this golden brown hue that they have right now, this is about how they should look when you get them out of the oven. So all that's left is to let them cool down for about 5 minutes and then enjoy.